Happy holidays to all of our Pirate TV viewers. Welcome to another edition of Hall Talk. And while Christmas is not too long from now at all, there's a lot of basketball, meaningful hoops to be played before Santa comes. And we'll find out if there's a gift or if there's coal in store for Isaiah Whitehead and his stellar sophomore class. Can they deliver on the big stage when they take on Wichita State in a huge Saturday showdown at the Prudential Center? And then it's the Seton Hall women, powered by Tony Bozzella. Ho-hum for them. They just keep on rocking and rolling as they are 9-1 and back in the top 25 in the coaches poll. It's certainly been a magical ride for them. Can the men rev up their sleigh ride? We begin ours right now on Hall Talk.
This team needs to show me something for me to believe that they're going to make a run in the tournament.
I think they can have a chance of going over 35 wins without a problem.
Just stepping up from the 4 points to the 17. She's just dropping threes like there's no tomorrow.
But chemistry is an underrated key in college basketball.
That was by far the best game I've seen them play.
This is Hall Talk, and that's how the chalk talks.
We start with men's basketball here on Hall Talk. Hi, everybody. John Fanta with you, and I welcome in my panel now as we break down Seton Hall and Wichita State. A huge battle set for Saturday, and to set the table with me is Kevin Hubler and Luis Overa on our panel tonight. Kevin, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, John. Great to be here.
Luis, big one Saturday.
Huge game, John, against Wichita State. It's going to be really exciting to watch it.
Well, let's break it down. The Shockers, it was just 2 seasons ago that team was able to run the table. Across the regular season, they went unbeaten, and it was the Shockers who then were eliminated in the NCAA tournament. At the same time, it's a Shockers program that under Greg Marshall has just transitioned into a different entity. Guys, they are 5-4, so off to a bit of a strange start, an unorthodox one by their standards. What do you look at when you break down this matchup?
Well, John, for me, it's going to be the second chance opportunities for this team. The Shockers, Wichita State, they're not a great rebounding team, especially with their big losses from last year. So what I'm looking for this game is if you're going to get the offensive rebounds, take advantage of them, because this Wichita State team, you're not going to get many chances to get ahead in points. That's my biggest point.
And when you look at this team, they're coming in hot. They're coming off of 3 straight wins and a big win over a Utah team that was ranked number 25 in the AP poll. So when you look at this team, they got Fred VanVleet back. He's back. He's averaging about 9 points a game. You also got to worry about Ron Baker. I think that's where it's going to come down to. It's going to be Ron Baker and Isaiah Whitehead. Those 2 guys, if you shut down Ron Baker, you're going to shut down basically this entire Wichita State offense right now.
Those are 2 All-American candidates in VanVleet and Baker. Tough to shut them down completely. They can try to slow them down. You've got to think, though, that the Pirates attack down low. Wichita State missing their starting center, and Anton Grady, who suffered a spinal concussion earlier this season. Angel Delgado, 9.9 rebounds per game. That leads the Big East. Guys, if they're going to win this game, they need to feed it to their big man.
Oh, my God. It's the perfect timing. Delgado is back, guys. 3 straight double-doubles. It's interesting that he's been sort of back, with Ishmael Sonego with limited minutes. But Ishmael Sonego, he's back on track also along with VanVleet in the other side of the court. So it's going to be huge. Those big guys, they have to have a big game early, not wait until a second half rally like they did last year against Wichita State. Those 2 big men, like you said, John, it's going to be theirs to take.
And don't forget about Michael Enzi as well.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at Michael Enzi, you look at Ishmael Sonego, Angel Delgado, the biggest difference right now, the reason why Angel Delgado has his 3 straight double-doubles is the fact that he has Michael Enzi and Ishmael Sonego helping him out. At the beginning of this season, you didn't have other teams' defenses worrying about Michael Enzi and Ishmael Sonego. Now they have to. And now that they've done that, you see Angel Delgado returning to that form that he had last season.
Enzi has a higher average in scoring, but Ishmael Sonego does have that rebound effect to the team. This game for me, for Coach Willard, is going to be who is the go-to 5th starter for this team. They both had their equal share of games, minutes played, we all agree. And so this game, whoever shows up more, that's going to be my go-to guy for the 5th starter. And I would give it to Ishmael Sonego.
Isaiah Whitehead, he's been up, he's been down. Can he right the ship? Do you see consistency coming from him?
You're starting to see that consistency start to come back a little bit. Yes, he has his up and down games where he goes and has those 6 for 20 nights from the floor. But then he also has those games where he's 5 of 8, 5 of 9 from the field. I think he's starting to realize that he's forcing shots. You heard him say it after the game over St. Peter's the other night. He said after the game that he's forcing shots, and he's starting to realize that. That's the maturity that you want to see out of your point guard. He's starting to recognize that. I think once he starts to recognize where those shots are for his other players on the floor as well, you'll start to see those assist numbers go up also.
This is a game where you're facing Van Vliet, you're facing Baker. You've heard so much about them. If you're Whitehead and you're Carrington, this is where you've got to be fired up to try to make the big-time statement. And this is why you came to Seton Hall, to put your team on the national map. Let's see if they actually can do it. Who wins this game?
You know, this Wichita State team is 5-4. They didn't start off great. Their player came back. One of their best players, we can all say.
Their best player, I think.
Their best player is back. 3-game stretch. He's ready for this game. It's a crucial game. It's their most important away game of the season, I would say, easily non-conference. Wichita State is still a scary team, but I give Seton Hall the win. Why? They're fired up. The potential is going to be loud. Doesn't matter if it's win or break or anything. I see this team winning with their turnover ratio and rebounding.
I'm going to go right with Lewis on this one. I think if the Pirates are able to control the rebounding game, which they should be able to, I mean, you're looking at Angel Delgado with his 9.9 rebounds. The guy with the leading rebounder for Wichita State and the Shockers only has 6 rebounds a game.
Nothing.
Night and day when you look at the inside game that these two teams have. I think the Pirates get the ball inside, which they should, and they most likely will. Then you're going to see the Pirates come away with the victory.
So you're all on the Pirates, and normally I'm on the Pirates too. Shockers by 6.
John.
They take it.
John.
They take it. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Let's go from the Prudential Center to Walsh Gymnasium. Seton Hall women's basketball at 9-1, number 25 in the coaches poll. Pirates welcome in a longtime foe in St. Peter's on Sunday. Quite arguably their easiest non-conference game in a schedule that has been gruesome. The Pirates come off a 92-56 win at Liberty, took the 8-hour bus drive, and just absolutely routed the Flames. We go in the classroom now. Get the report cards out. Professors Hubler and Overa, let's see how harsh. I think it's hard to be harsh with this team because we're going to grade non-conference play for this team. A 9-1 record. We all are giving them A's on that one. Let's turn to Tabitha Richardson-Smith, a Big East Player of the Year candidate. Where do you guys put her if you are giving her a grade thus far this season?
Well, like you said, John, she's in the early season watch list for the best player in the country. She's averaging 16 points a game. I would give her easily A- to a B+, I want to say. We all expected Tabitha Richardson-Smith to be a freak in the scoring conversation. But, you know, and that's okay. And she hasn't really been that person. But no one's complaining. Why? Because this team is an all-around great performance. So in terms of the expectations we had, I would go with a B+, which is not a terrible grade.
I'm going to go with an A-. I mean, when you look at the expectations that we had for Tabitha Richardson-Smith coming into this game, or coming into this season, I expect her to be right around that 17 points a game mark. She's at 16 right now. She's forcing too many shots. I think if she wasn't forcing as many shots from the outside and getting it to her teammates more, I would be more likely to give her an A instead of the A-.
Let's turn to the front court. The Big East leader in blocks, the Bird, Libertia Gordon, and Tiffany Jones, who has been consistently in double figures this year.
I mean, can we give them any less than an A+? I mean, maybe a 96, 97 percentile, because Tiffany Jones is an all-around player. 3-pointers, blocks, scoring, rebounding, you name it. Libertia Gordon really stepped up.
Didn't expect much from her.
Not at all. That's what gives them the edge from the B+A range to the A+. I mean, you said it, John, blocking, scoring, great leader. You know, she's one of the older players on the court. It's one of the best in the conference, if not maybe in the league.
I mean, I'm going to go right with Lewis. I'm going to give her an A only because I don't believe in the A+. I'm going to give her the
Okay,
A.
fair enough. Fair enough.
When you look at these two players, I mean, Tiffany Jones has 11 points per game and 7 rebounds a game. Those are numbers that we expected her to have coming into the season. But Libertia Gordon, she wants to get better every game. Night in, night out, she wants to get better. She's not content with having an average game. She always has that drive, that competitive nature in her to get better. And I think that's why you have to give them the A.
The graduate, the transfer guards, Shakina Richardson, a graduate, and then Alicia Powell, who has really stepped in and done a tremendous job here at Seton Hall. Both Powell and Richardson, the bridge from Deja Simmons and Dee Dee Simmons, it looked complicated. Life after them. How do you think these two have done?
That comparison helps them out right there. No one was entirely sure how they were going to do. It's big shoes to fill in, but they've filled those shoes they're great, maybe even better in terms of team camaraderie, record.
I agree with that, yeah.
They're unstoppable. I mean, Shakina Richardson breaking ankles left and right, John. It's unbelievable, making people stand on their feet. Assists, one of the best in the country, easily in the conference. Alicia Powell, great team leader as well. Easily an A. I'm going to go with an A+. I'm sorry, buddy, but I'll give another A+. It's easy to answer that.
It's an A, obviously. I mean, when you look at these two players, especially Alicia Powell, nobody expected her to be the team's second leading scorer at this point in the season. There was a big question mark, like you said, on how they were going to replace Deja Simmons and Khadija Simmons. And when you look at Shakina Richardson, 5.5 assists per game. Those numbers, you don't see those that often, especially out of somebody that's getting 10 points a game as well at the collegiate level.
She's a true point guard.
She's playing to the best of her abilities, and it's helping this team tremendously.
I'll tell you what, Tony Bozzella, he just continues to rev up this machine. It is his program, and now at this point in the game, he has 57, get that, 57 wins in just 2 short seasons and then, 10 games at Seton Hall. 57 wins. Amazing what Tony Bozzella has been able to do, which brings us into our final segment. I don't think there's many resolutions to make in women's basketball, but with the new year coming, right before we finish up 2015, we turn to New Year's resolutions in Seton Hall athletics. And gentlemen, we talked about it. It's a men's team that is a work in progress, which could mean some resolutions. I think you have an even bolder one, though, coming. Guys, what is your New Year's resolution? What do you see coming?
John, I'm going to say it. We all know there's 4 teams in the Big East in the top 25. I want a 5th, and not Marquette. I want ourselves. By the end of January, if they get those crucial wins early in the season, why not? Especially if we were to beat Wichita State. You look at the record, Kevin Willard said it himself. He didn't expect them to be that good. We all saw them being in this range, so why not? Big East is one of the best conferences in the nation.
But there's one critical piece to that puzzle
What is
that's
that?
going to get them to the top 25.
What is
They
that?
have yet to play a game where they've played 40 minutes of solid defense.
Yeah. Third in
That-
the Big East, only allowing 63 points per game.
But they still missed that right after that under 16 mark.
Yes.
That
They put the
5
bench
to
in.
10 minute stretch is where they really start to lose it. They let teams come back into the game, and that's where they start to struggle. They have to play those 40 minutes defense, and I think if they don't play those 40 minutes against Wichita State this Saturday, they're not going to beat Wichita State, and that is going to carry over into Big East play.
John, I want to ask you what your resolution is, but then I have a wish list, something it seems even impossible for me to ask Santa Claus, whoever it is. I will let you go first because I have something else that I want to say.
My resolution in terms of basketball is, can Seton Hall find Veer Singh a way to get him going? They've yet to do that. You got to find your fresh fish, put him in the fryer, and see what can happen with him. My other resolution is to stop eating fried food. So that's the other thing, but it has nothing to do with basketball. What was your thing
Can
on
I
your
just
wish
say
list?
one more thing? What camera am I looking at right now? Is this
Go
camera right
ahead.
here? This camera? The Rock, the attendance, go
Whoa!
to the game,
Gonna fire
stay in the
shots at the
game.
fans.
Not just the students, but even the fans, the alumni, whoever you want to be, people in Newark, in all New Jersey, stay in the game. Why do people leave? We're winning. We're not losing by 40 points, am I? And the students, the buses aren't going anywhere, all right? They leave because they think the game's over when you guys are lining up outside the buses. Stay. It is the saddest thing ever when you see the players and cheerleaders singing
true.
and all the fans are gone. That's my wish list right there.
I guess on that note, I'm supposed to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry
Hot
Christmas.
takes
Happy
for Louis
holidays.
Silveira and Kevin Hubler and all of our Pirate TV crew. We will be back with a spring season of Hall Talk. Season's greetings, happy holidays, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's see what Pirate Hoops can do on the way. This has been Hall Talk.